Also, the problem of a person with social anxiety disorder is shyness and shame. The person is self-conscious about their feelings, self-conscious about talking. A person with social phobia is ashamed of his body and his thoughts. Such a person is ashamed to be around people and talk about himself. The person is ashamed to show feelings, ashamed of his physiological reactions. He is ashamed to be non-ideal, ashamed to be no better. A person with social anxiety disorder is ashamed to be himself. And then there's the problem, shyness. The persistence of shyness. Because of this, the person doesn't get what they want in life. Because of this, he avoids social contacts and sinks even more into himself. The fixation on self becomes deeper, and self-obsession is pathological self-control. You have to constantly monitor what you said, what you didn't say, what you don't say, what you don't need to say. I have to make sure I'm saying the right thing or the wrong thing. I have to make sure people smile at me, choose me. That's why I watch my speech and say only what other people want me to say. There must be a behavior that people expect. I would rather not say anything then, so as not to spoil the relationship. I will not talk about my desires, so that suddenly people will not like it and they will not create a relationship with me. I will not show it all. I will not talk about myself. I will not show my feelings. Such a person has a preoccupation with his own thoughts, feelings, reactions. You see, so much man is fixated that he is pathologically controlling. How do I look? How I feel? Do people not see my fear? Don't they see my anxiety? And how do they judge my speech? Therefore, shy people with social phobia experience shame and self-blame. How does this happen? They ignore and downplay their accomplishments and worthiness. Ask a sociophobic person what their strengths and virtues are. The person won't say at all. What are your strengths and virtues? If you experience anxiety, fear, guilt, shyness, then what are your strengths and virtues? But ask what are your weaknesses. The list will be huge. A person has so much to dig up in himself or looks at himself through someone else's eyes. Now the list there will be 100 to 150 points. And if you ask what is good in you, why other people may like you, why they would like to have a relationship with you, a person will not say that. If they succeed at something, they devalue everything. You succeeded, good for you, how cool you did. A sociophobe will say, no, it's just luck. It just happened by chance. The person devalues themselves and looks everywhere for confirmation of their low self-esteem. They have such selective attention. They perceive any words in their own way. For example, someone says, "You are so calm and so silent today." The sociophobe begins to perceive themselves as I am unusual and different from yesterday. People have noticed my problem. I'm kind of weird and abnormal. People have seen that there is something wrong with me. People realized I have a problem. So people are somehow judging me negatively. And the person with social phobia has built that negativity in their head again. If you ask them to describe themselves, of course, they will describe their negative qualities, their helplessness, their failure, that they are not doing well. And they won't even do that description. Why? Because that description drives them into trauma, loneliness and depression. Because when they start to analyze themselves, what happens is a lot of worrying, suffering and pain that they create by their own thinking.